All right, class, you should have read page 380 and 381 in your textbook about natural selection. And natural selection has four parts. I'm going to tell you a story that represents all four parts of Darwin's theory of natural selection. This story is not at all true, but it does teach us a good lesson on natural selection. Way back when I was a kid, my parents, they had 12 children. We were all boys, and we all had different length arms, which is kind of weird. I had some pretty long arms. I had a little brother that had really short, teeny tiny arms. And my mom only made one box of macaroni and cheese for dinner a day. I don't know why, that's just what she did. She put it in a pot, she put it in the center of the table. Those of us that had long arms, we could reach and get handfuls of macaroni and cheese. My littlest brother, I mean, he had teeny tiny arms, couldn't reach the macaroni and cheese, couldn't feed himself, and therefore, unfortunately, wasn't nourished and died. It was really sad. Like I said, that story is not at all true, but it does contain all four parts of Darwin's theory of natural selection. Part one, overproduction of offspring. I told you my parents had 12 children. That's not true, but that's a lot of children. Next, variation. I said we all had different length arms. That's not true either, but that would be a good representation of variation. Competition. There's only one box of macaroni and cheese, and we all had to fight for that. That would be a good example of competition. And then finally, selection. Those of us that got the food would survive. Our genetics would pass on to the next generation. Those of us that did not get the food, we would not survive. So that's a good example of Darwin's theory of natural selection. We just need to apply all four parts to a real, actual life scenario of living creatures.